Prepare for battle.
Okay, Hamwang's big. Our goon hero is evfedu, and he's gonna be playing
It's in the
Viper.
bag.
And he sent me this replay, and I was kind of worried because I saw that he had a really good KDA. And it was one of those posts. It's like, what could I, the guy with the really good KDA, have done right?
One is
But
so
hopefully there's
bag.
something actually of value to talk about instead of like, well, your team fed and you didn't. Sorry. And congrats.
30 seconds to battle.
It's in the bag.
Doing the really cool thing where you don't get a skill, even though you're Viper, like you don't really have all that many choices. But I don't know. Maybe they suddenly have like 5 people with spells on you and you want to take a point in E and maybe that saves you, who knows. But this is always like good practice. Did get Nether Toxin first. I'm probably going to have something to say about this depending on who's mid.
Time is money.
Because I think it's Selena. So like the first thing you want to do when you get to mid is you look at this number here. And also something really cool about Viper, when you look at, if you hover over this, you get this information, and you see that his attack damage range, it's got a difference of 2, right? That's not usually the case. Like, if you go down here, you go to Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight's one of the worst. You see he's got 69 damage, right? But it's actually 54 to 84. Like, sometimes a creep's health will be, like, over here, and you'll hit it for 54 instead of, like, your fucking 80 damage that you're expecting, and you won't get it, and it's really annoying to be Chaos Knight. So a lot of heroes are kind of like that, you know, got the big damage range. Viper is not one of those. So something you can do when you go mid, and something you should do is, the first thing you do is click on your guy, first off, see what he has, and if he gets pulled a bunch of stuff, just kind of bitch about that to your team and be like, wow, you got so much stuff. But if you have matching damage on someone like Viper, what you can do instead of taking the Nether Toxin, which you usually need against another mid, to just get last hits, because, you know, 53 is not that much.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
You can get your other spell first, and then harass them earlier. But yeah, always, like, click on your guy and compare their damage number to your damage number to see, like, kind of what you have to do, like, the thing you have to do mid, which is farm. I'm gonna go to player perspective here. So, like, the first thing you have to do when you start a game is kind of establish a win condition. And your team against their team, your win condition is, like, win, like, in 3 minutes from now, is essentially what you have to do. So hopefully, I mean, you guys lost this horribly, and I did see the graph, and somewhere around the 29-minute mark, something really, really bad happens. But what actually happens, and I don't even need to watch the game to tell you about, is that it's 29 minutes and they have a Jug, and they have a Faceless, and they have a Quap, and they have a Lina, and they have an Abaddon, all heroes that kind of like scale pretty damn well. You die here? No, you live. Something you really should consider is going for the boots earlier on Viper, because you're playing this game where you're kind of like trying to harass a mid out of there, right? But since your move speed kind of matches her move speed, that's also something you should click on mid. You're not really going to be able to do that as well as if you had early shoes against her.
Regeneration.
So the rune's coming up. You're a goon, so you probably don't look at him the whole game. But that's something else to consider. Unless you think like they're gonna have people sitting on them, like Lina is gonna have a hard time contesting you if you're uphill. Like if you go like up this way, she's gonna have a hard time contesting that rune against you 1 versus 1. So you might just, you know, be able to get a free rune. Like maybe it's a regen and you have full health. Maybe it's a haste and you get to go kill top, which is, again, that's your goal. Like you need to be killing that guy top. Because your guy Viper does not scale anywhere near as well as Faceless Void. So you're level 6, 4 minutes in, that's great. Your farm's pretty good, probably the highest in the game right now, right? No, Darkseer is doing well. here's the issue. Like your team needs to win early, right? And in a dominating fashion. So if you go over here, you know, you won't generally have all this information, but you can tell how the lane's going, right? So you go over here, and these guys are matching your basically free farm. Like you've had no one in your lane for 2 minutes. They're matching your free farm this early on. That's not good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So at this point, you really can't be sitting Viper. You've got to ring a regen. I don't know if you're going Tranks or like, oh, you're going Mech. Mech on Viper is really good because Viper doesn't really, need items to do his damage. But against this team, you need to build like hardcore damage items. You need to be able to beat them decisively. You're already going to win team fights early, right? Like you've got Lich, you've got Undying, you've got Darkseer. You're going to win the team fights. So instead of like building around that, don't get me wrong, like Mech's a really good fucking item. Instead of building, this is probably kill for you. Instead of building around that, you really, again, need to beat the two guys that will 100% beat your guy late in a dominating fashion early. Is this another kill? This guy get cocky? Like, look at how incredibly you're at their tier 2 killing 2 different guys right now with haste. This guy probably doesn't fucking do shit to you, right? Yeah. That's how strong you are, and you need to use that, and not to just kind of sit mid and get creeps, which this patch especially just will not work, not against that team. But you need to be like just basically sitting on Void, getting that kill, sitting on Jug in the jungle, getting that kill. And this is not working. And you need to especially be telling your Undying bottom to fucking do something. Because that hero's got 10 minutes to have fun, and he's wasted 7 of them not doing anything at all. I think you done. Yeah. You might get another frag though.
Burns, doesn't it?
Oh well. I'm gonna speed through this a little bit. Say just go back mid immediately. Like this is good. Like you're winning mid. You know you got it. Good job. That's generally mid's job to win mid, but in this case, like you're here. Oh, thank God you're taking a fucking rune. You're gonna get that, and then you're gonna go back mid to the empty mid lane to go farm with double the damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Like this is fine, this is good,
tower
but
is under
again,
attack.
you need to ask yourself at the beginning of the game, how am I gonna win against these 5 guys? And if your answer is I'm gonna
Dire's
slowly
middle tower
farm
is under
on
attack.
a much worse carry, that's not it. And also not build a carry item.
Dire's middle tower. Dire's top tower is under attack.
They did kill Void up there, that's good. Okay, right now you're just kind of wandering around. It's 10 minutes in, by the way, you still haven't bought a TP. You really need to start carrying one.
As was promised.
Solid frag, kill a healing ward. This is probably another kill. This is definitely another kill. Like that needs to be the whole game. You can start doing that from like basically minute 2 of your lineup, and that's what needs to happen against that team. You buy 2 TPs, that's really good. But again, it's 10 minutes into the game. There could have been other opportunities for you to use those. So just like once you get your shoes, once you get like your basic like I can do stuff item, which on Viper is shoe. That's it. Start carrying on the TP because you can maybe make something of it.
Dire's bottom tower
This Lena's
is under
fucking pissed,
attack.
dude. Wow, you get away from this too. Like a lot of the stuff that I think I want to say might not directly apply because the different skill levels is like a normal skill match, I should have mentioned. Like they're just basically completely different games, so a lot of stuff that makes sense to me right now might not like make sense in the reality of your game. You guys got reflexes like a fucking cheetah. It's good also that you're not like, because I see a lot of the lower level players like they'll have like half health and they'll be like, fuck, I need to go back to base, I'm fucking dying. But you recognize like exactly what sort of threats they have, and you kind of stick around and get your farm in when you can. So that's probably going back to base now.
What surge is this?
Oh wow. I'm just gonna give that guy just a little bit more health. That is another kill though, maybe. Oh my god, they're just gonna sit right there on it, huh? That's a lit stream. That's really good. The mech did save you and get you a kill there. And cool. You stick around and you farm this again, good. Because like you're, 3 other guys are dead. Like you're not gonna die there. Like the normal like goon response, even some of the guys that I played with that I played this game forever would be like, oh no, I'm so low health. I need to go back to base. Your farm's actually pretty good. But again, like you're not gonna beat these guys by farming your mech and then farming your fucking pipe or whatever it is that you're gonna get next. That might be another frag. I didn't click on him. Moving this game too fast. So what are you building next? Ags is really, really good against your team, especially Void. If you don't get chronoed and you press your R button at Void, more fracture. You are getting pretty fed. I saw you had a really good score again at the thing, and I'm starting to see how that happened. What you're doing here, like a lot of people would be like, oh, you're being too caught. But again, 3 guys are dead. You're running past a tower as Viper. Like you've got, look at how much armor you got. Like you're okay to do that.
Dire's middle tower.
You saw the Lina ult used. Like you're completely fine to do that. And I don't think a lot of players that are playing in like even higher skill ranks than you would notice that. So that's really good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I feel like you kind of have to choose like between utility and damage doer, big boy, stat haver on Viper. And like, so I don't ever like to see these 2 items together, like either get phase. So you have like the quick, oh look, I got a quick mech and I got the quick phase, so I'm like really, really fucking good for the first 15 minutes of the game build. Or you can like do this and then build into Ags and then build into your Manta and go slow like, oh look, I'm half a carry build. But like try not to do both.
Dire's top tower is
I'd like to see what this guy has. I always try to click on your teammates to see what they have, to see like where you actually are in the game. The drums is good, not as good as it once was, sadly. But this guy's got like basically no farm. Because you have to think that at bottom he got free farm, right? Because it was him and Undying. Him and Undying, bam, period. It doesn't matter who they were against, because that's a 1 lane. But him and Undying against Co-op it was. So he's got nothing, and you need to be very concerned about that against your team. Like, it's not exactly the time, but you need to be clicking on the enemies as well to see where they're at. Very curious to see what this Jug has, and this Jug actually has pretty good farm as well. And the Void's items are a mystery to both of us forever.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's good 2 guys dead. Like, you're trying to push your advantage, but the thing is that like 18 minutes is not the time to really start doing that. I feel like you guys kind of spent the first 10 minutes of the game meandering around. Like, Dota's a lot faster now. It needs to start a lot faster against teams like this, or otherwise it'll just roll right past you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kind of meandering around a little bit there, but that was fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, see now they're all up. You're diving a tier 2, and you've got like 2 guys to support. This is a little bit dangerous.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But it looks like they're just kind of handing this one to you, so that's good. You guys having the pipe this early is very good as well. So 3 guys are dead. I guess maybe you're a little... Oh, you're talking shit. Okay, yeah, so you're not concerned about like the Void or the Abaddon coming in, because that, you know, won't really be a thing. You have this on autocast, and you've been kind of wasting your mana on it the whole time. I hope you realize that that's going on.
Tower has fallen.
Looks like you're buying a quarterstaff to build. You're building an orchid, which again, like you're building you're a co-op right now. You're co-op, but your skills suck. You've got 3 shitty skills as co-op. Like the Orchid would be okay if your main threat, if that Quap was just like running all over your team. It's like, okay, how do we stop her?
Dire's
Again,
top
Hex
tower
would still be
is under
much
attack.
better, and if you've got this much of a lead, please always, 100% of the time go Hex. Literally, don't even go brown boot Hex. Hex is the most important item in the game, and if you ever get a Hex at the lower levels,
Dire's
like, you're
bottom
gonna win
tower
the game.
is under attack.
That's how I honestly, literally, like, forever will feel.
Bravery and stupidity.
But like the Orchid, these guys are gonna click really fast. They're clicking hard already. They're gonna click real fucking hard soon.
You thought you'd be immune?
They need to strongly consider that. Maybe go for like the Shivas is really good. Fucking any sort of carry item, the Manta is really good. Anything like that. The Hex is especially really good. And again, if you're 10-1, 21 minutes in the game, and you've got good farm, like always try to go Hex if you can do it. Wow, you get away with this. So I think this is gonna work out for you guys, kind of, but you ran downhill when you were fighting the ranged guy. If you would have stayed up here, you might have lived. It's something to consider always, like your height advantage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I see you clicked on a couple people there. That's good. Whenever I make these things, like, and I'll start talking about something, then the goon will start doing it. I feel like they're hearing me through the past somehow. It's very spooky to me overall. So your good friend Banana Joe has the armlet now. Armlet, drums, treads, that's basically all that hero needs, basically, to do his stuff. But you've got, like, a guy sitting in the jungle, you've got a guy sitting in the base, you got a guy up top. Like, you guys need to have a unified identity right now, and sometimes it is the unfortunate responsibility of the one guy that kind of speaks English in the group to be like, hey, come here. Like, just ping a whole bunch. Usually people will respond to pings, like fucking Pavlovian dogs. To be like, hey, we're gonna lose this game. You guys literally lose this game in like 7 minutes from now. So I'm wondering exactly how that goes down. I'm guessing that they all press R at you. This is what happens. But again, what actually like literally is happening is that it's 29 minutes and you guys are going like, this is basically even right now. Like if the farm is like this and you guys only have a slight lead, like you need to have a dominating lead at this point. It needs to be 25 to like 3 kills. And you guys just haven't had that the whole game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And you can keep like your solo gamer identity,
Middle tower is
but
under
you're not gonna
attack.
be able to deal with this shit by yourself. Like you need all the guys to come and push all the towers and get all the roaches. Because Viper's really good at doing this thing where he kind of like he gives you false hope. Because like he just does so much fucking damage. By the way, I think earlier I saw you leveling corrosive
Radiant
skin
structures are
over these two
fortified.
things. Leveling this, like, you should probably get like 1 point in it early, but like don't ever level it over these two. This thing is the most important skill that you can get early, because with Viper you have to kind of push that big early lead, which you get by having these two skills be completely fucking nuts for like the first 20 minutes of the game, and then just basically not all that great. 25, two guys are down. The moment where the fucking Dota bar graph is fucking face plants is coming up soon, and I'm again really anxious to see what happens. That's part of the reason. So you're kind of you could have been clicking that guy a little bit. You can definitely be pressing R on him while he's in chrono. Like that's the main reason to have this guy against Void, right? You press that R and then he's like basically swinging his dick around once a second in chrono.
Dire's middle tower is under
That was kind of a big dive for having all your guys dead. I don't know if you realized that they were all dead, or that you guys had lost that fight, but I think it's becoming like readily apparent now. You got Bash there, I saw, so this guy's probably got well I can click on him now. This guy's got this guy's got a lot of shit. I'm starting to see how this game was lost. So like, and there's, you know, you can't really do too much against this guy having both his R and then items as your hero
Radiant's
alone.
middle tower
The rest
is
of your
under
heroes are
attack.
kind of like, farm's not too great. Like this guy's working on an Ags.
Radiant's
This
middle
guy's
tower
got
has
a
fallen.
hood one. I think you have a pipe already. Yeah. So they're building against the guys that basically aren't doing anything. I think a Hex, an early Hex fight, you would have really saved your team.
Generation.
You would have probably still lost the game the way you're playing, but it would have helped a lot. They're coming back up. We do have the Orchid at the same time that the offlane Quap does. Hopefully you get some use out of this. I don't think it's that great an item. It's okay on Viper, and it's okay to build it, but not when the main threats are just kind of running wild on you, you know? It looks like you guys want to Roche. This guy's setting his illusions there to die instantly. That's a shame.
Roshan has
I see
fallen
you've also
to the
put
Radiant.
down the Dark Seer wall. A few mishaps there. I think the Dark Seer wall and the CK illusions would have been really good. This is the fight you lose, by the way. Like, so you get Chronoed, you're getting Omni Slash in the Chrono, you don't have the Chaos Knight illusions available, you don't have the wall available. Both really good skills! Let's see. Is this guy gonna put the Tombstone down? He has put the Tombstone down. This fight's kind of a mess. And you're sitting there and you're clicking, but it's not enough, and it's really not gonna be enough. With an Orchid and with an Ags and all that shit that really, like, you know, doesn't add to your kill the guy potential that much.
Dire's top tower is
So I'm
under
guessing that's
attack.
it. That's the game, because the bar just goes straight down. So I'm guessing you lose another fight in a very similar fashion.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like, you can't go mid as Viper and dominate your lane, and then look at these guys. Like, literally these four guys here, they scale wonderfully into the late game. And you can't be like, alright, I gotta get them back.
Frozen waste.
And then like, alright, I gotta go mid and farm for 50 more minutes after I get them back. It can't work that way. Like, this game was certainly not, you know, completely on you. As I think you were trying to point out when you sent me the replay. But there's definitely stuff that you can, like, consider in situations like this to help the fucking lemmings along and drag them kicking and screaming towards the win. You're gonna get the frag on their support. There's 3 off the map right now, but I don't think, yeah, I don't think you even pay for this. It's just a free double frag. And your frags are fine, your farm is good, but what are you doing with these? Is that guy getting the doubler, like, means so much more than your guy getting the doubler, and that's not even the important one.
Killing spree.
Yeah.
Grounded. Your chronology ends.
That's kind of a side effect of the having no vision thing, but when it's this late and there's 5 off the map, and you have, like, at least a little bit of vision, like, you know that they're not pushing this lane back, which, you know, would be kind of a natural thing to do, just farm up there. You know that they're not over here at this rune spot, you know that they're not here at this camp. So, like, there's only X amount of places they can be, right? Roche is still down, I believe. So when you're doing that, like, you can't really be all the way up
Radiant's
here.
bottom tower
You gotta
is
be
under
like,
attack.
you know, like, your spidey sense has gotta be tingling around that point. And that's something that probably comes along with having a bit more experience.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, this is just unfortunate. They've realized that they can press their R buttons.
Dire's middle Radiant's bottom
This is probably a
tower
game right now,
Dire's
right?
top
Unless you
tower
come along and do
is
something
under
incredible.
Such a little. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing you were just in throw mode there, because otherwise running your face in a 5 was fine, the way to go, but I think you guys realized that you lost.
Radiant's bottom barrack. Dire's middle tower
Wait,
is
what?
under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So do that weird thing where they they don't have any towers up here. I think they could have just thrown you though
Radiant's
in
top
one.
tower has fallen.
You're here, you're
Roshan
desperately
has
trying to farm
Dire's bottom
the
tower
Mantis
is under
style. It's
attack.
way too late for the Mantis style. If that was your first item, that would have been a really good first item in this game, probably. But it's not. I also heard a smoke there. I haven't been clicking on them because I'm playing from a player perspective, but yeah, they're smoking as well. It's very strange that this is classified as a normal skill match. I did not think that people like, you know, like this is alright farm. And you get called out. Oh my god. And yeah, I did not think people skilled.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
What'd you say? My team are not good at Dota, it turns
Radiant's
out.
top tower is under attack.
It's always good,
Radiant's
like,
top
but if you're gonna throw
Radiant's
people under the
top
bus, just make sure to be
barracks are
really
under
specific. Like,
Radiant's
just
top
pick one
barracks.
guy, even if it wasn't his fault. Maybe just the maddest guy, or either that, or like the opposite end of the spectrum, like the guy didn't say anything, and just talk as much shit about him as you
Radiant's
can.
top barracks are under attack.
Because like, so your first win
Radiant's top
condition of like
barracks
when the
has
Dota
fallen.
game did not
The
work,
Dire
right? So you have to
now have
establish
negative.
another win condition. And if that
Radiant's
condition's like,
middle
make a guy
tower has
really
fallen.
mad, like fucking
Radiant's
make him go
middle
home and
ta-
kick his
Radiant's
dog,
middle tower has-
you can do that. You
Radiant's
know,
ancient
it's
is
still
under
very
dire
attainable. Even now,
victory.
even now at the scoreboard, you can make someone really, really mad. So, I honestly was just talking a whole bunch. I have no idea if any of this was useful, but enjoy!